Hello and welcome back to Verne, the Shape of Fantasy. We're going to be continuing on with episode 3. Where we left off, we were on an island. And from what I can remember from when this game was under development, I believe this is going to be the demo portion of the game that was available on Steam. And again, this game is still available to download since it's still a relatively new game. So if you want to play it, please look it up and help out the developers since this is a really interesting project that I've seen. And I really do like the nuances of playing games with a spin on a well-known franchise instead of something being, repeated over and over and over again, like, Star Wars, Star Trek, FNAF, for instance, Halo. There comes a moment in time where a lot of that stuff gets kind of repetitive, and I really enjoy playing these indie games or these one-off titles where you're going into it with absolutely no knowledge about the game, and that's kind of why I'm really enjoying this series so far. So, without further ado, pull up a chair, relax on your couch, jump in bed, enjoy your snacks, or have a dinner, whatever you're going to be doing, and come on with us on an adventure as we continue on with Chapter 3 of Verne, the Shape of Fantasy. Like always, let's dive in.
Cedric's strange machine unleashed my memories, lightening the dark void of my stay at the island. The Annabel Lee was my first assignment as a scientific officer at the American Empire Navy. In addition to the war's own menace, there was a rumor that a huge sea monster was around, sinking ships. Despite my skepticism, 3 weeks after our departure, in the dead of night, that rumor became a reality by pouncing on our ship and in a matter of minutes wrecking us. By some miracle, I survived. Luckily, the currents brought me to the island. Later, I understood that my extraordinary journey started right there. Where am I?
Alright everybody, this is what I remember from the demo. I'm going to try to speed run this since this is kind of a quick episode. But at the same time, I remember there is a couple of difficult sections in this game, as well as a few spots where if you miss the item, you unfortunately will never have an opportunity to come back. So for all you completionists and individuals that need help with this game, I highly recommend following along with this
It's
portion
destroyed. Fixing it will be difficult.
Oh, and make sure sticky keys is turned off.
Oh God, the attack! The monster! That sea beast came out from beneath and rammed the Annabel Lee, ripping apart the hull like a rotten fruit. Why is it so hard to recall? There's no sign of life. Maybe I will find someone inland. Oh, I need food.
Okay, here's petroglyph number 1.
A petroglyph. It's ancient. It must mean something.
This is the first letter.
An old letter. Seems to be written by an outcast. It must be important.
Letter number 1. Letter 1. Monsters. September 19th. Night and day, I could think of nothing but how I might destroy some of the monsters in their cruel, bloody entertainment, and if possible save the victim they should bring hither to destroy. And what could one man do among them, when perhaps there might be 20 or 30 of them together with their darts or their bows and arrows, with which they could shoot as true to a mark as I could with my gun. And that activates the side mission, Castaway. And this is why I'm saying, find the other 2 letters, or else you'll never have a completionist status. So we're gonna climb up this little ledge. You got a beautiful view. Now this.
I need something to clear up this thicket.
This is petroglyph number 2.
This place is a paradise, but not a soul around. I hope this island will not become my grave.
Remember this spot. This is going to change.
There's something written on it. In this place, I arrived on September the 30th of... I cannot read the year.
This petroglyph number...
Another petroglyph. The symbols are different. A lift. A former inhabitant made it. I hope that if he's still around, he will be friendly. However, it's been a long time since this was built. It might work, if only I could find a tackle. I need to break the lock.
Here's the tackle. And in inventory, we just pushed that. So now that we have inventory, we can tackle to activate the lift, go to the basket and place it. So just simple tag. And let's get it closed. I hate that raid. I really do. I'm coming over here for 2 things. Letter number 2. Letter number 2. Earth is shaking. November 27th. I was so much amazed at the thing it said, having never felt like, nor discouraged with anyone that had, that I was like one dead or stupefied, and the motion of the earth made my stomach sick, like one that was tossed at sea. But the noise of the following of the rock awakened me, as it were, and rousing me from the stupefied condition I was in, filled me with horror, and I thought of nothing but the hill facing upon my tent, and all my household goods, and burying all at once, and this sunk my very soul within me for a second time. After the third shock was over, and I felt no more for some time, I began to take courage, and yet I had not heart enough to go over my wall again, for fear of being buried alive. But I sat upon the ground, greedily cast down and disconsolate, not knowing what to do. Yeah, that would happen if you were stranded on an island and everything was destroyed.
There's a series of marks. It could be a calendar. If we take each of the small ones for a week and the big ones for months, oh dear, it's a whole life.
RC was here. I love it.
I need to break the lock.
Okay, now we go. To use the tackle, open the inventory. You have to be where the item is required to be able to use this. We're going to hit tab, and we're going to hit E to use it. This is going to be a little puzzle. Great, remember, you can use any item from the inventory by pressing the action where its use is required, but it only works with the right item. So, what we're going to do is a little puzzle. This is going to be the clove-hitch. The best way to tie a rope is to use the clove-hitch sailing. And we're going to basically have to follow this pattern. So let's go. Okay, we're going up. I'm going to go down. I'm going to go back up. I'm going to go back down.
Yes!
God, I love this camera. Beautiful waterfall. I love the sound of it too. get a good look, this is all going to change. Okay. I'll be completely honest. This ladder puzzle, by far, most complicated thing that I've ever experienced in a game demo. I've watched other people do it. I know for me myself, prior to any Wikipedia articles or any help guides or anybody that figured out finally how to do this, it would take everybody about an hour to an hour and a half to figure it out. Because it's very confusing and there's no real instructions as to how to get it to work. But it's actually not as bad as I thought it would be. And I'm hoping I can remember what I'm supposed to do. So bear with me if I take a little bit longer, because it is frustrating. And there's the tree with the face and the evil bird that always scared me. And here's the shelter.
I'm safe. Not in bad shape. It could be a good shelter until somebody rescues me. These trees have fruits. And back there, there's a stream of water. Now I need to rest. Tomorrow, with a clearer head, I will find how to fix it.
I didn't realize there were two birds. There's one on the tree and in this tree.
I spent 2 days completely alone. Despite that, the island was familiarly comfortable. It was a beautiful place. All my life, I dreamed about freedom and exploring the world. Maybe that was the way destiny had to give me the chance to fulfill my desire for adventure. What the hell? I wasn't wrong.
Spooky moon and creepy fire.
I must find out what that light was. I need to break the rope.
Trust me, it's gonna be
But
different now.
the island has changed. What happened?
A lot has changed. I wonder what. Why? Put it back on the ground. I see the bird. I'm just making sure nothing changes over here. Yeah, no, it's still the same here. You never know, because there's some things that I've noticed that have changed that I've forgotten. No, this is different.
But what the... An elephant and a balloon? What's going on here? They feel familiar. Maybe a dream.
5 weeks in a balloon. Jules Verne, first novel. On January 8th, 1863, Jules Verne saw his first novel published, 5 weeks in a balloon. The story describes a thrilling journey through the unexplored territories of Africa, led by the eccentric Dr. Samuel Ferguson, his faithful lackey Joe, and a professional hunter, Dick Kennedy, in order to find the sources of the Nile. These aeronauts decided to cross the continent, traveling in a balloon named Victoria in honor of the Queen of England, whose innovative use of hydrogen allows it to make long journeys. The novel immediately became a great public and critical success. In part, this was due to the enormous interest for the African continent of the audience at the time, but also because of the mixture of imaginary travel and solid, for the time, scientific information. One of the most famous passages in the novel describes how an elephant tows the balloon to cross the mountain range known as the Mountains of the Moon. Thanks to his first success, Verne gained the financial security that would allow him to fulfill his dream of becoming a writer. He signed a contract with Pierre Jules Hetzel publishing house, which was to publish the rest of his work for the next 40 years. It is worth noting, as a curiosity, that Verne had never ridden in a balloon when he wrote the book, and would not do so until years later. So there's a little bit of history for you.
Edgar Allan Poe, Alexandre Dumas, Victor Hugo. Never heard these names before.
The bird.
How strange. They don't look like they have been dragged here by the sea. Where do they come from?
Bird, I'm telling you, screaming for Becky doesn't mean anything.
What's going on here? Compagnie Parisienne de l'Électricité? That can't be. How does a streetlight get here? And this writing desk. Again, it's weirdly familiar.
You notice you can't read the rock anymore? This is what I was saying. It's best to figure out what changed and pick up on it because you can't go back. Oh, we're gonna go back up this ledge.
That must be the light I saw. Wait a moment. There's something on the ground.
Spooky cloud. So this is where we get the machete. Machete. And then you pick this up.
The stick has a weird shape, almost like a key.
And now we have access to the petroglyph key. And this...
What's this? A door. That wasn't here before. It's jammed. To activate the mechanism, I need the missing blocks. Could the petroglyphs be the answer?
Jeez, I wonder if it is. So we're gonna jump down here. I'm gonna run all the way back to the beginning to see if anything changed. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure everything's still the same.
It's destroyed. Fixing it will be difficult.
Okay, so nothing has changed. But
I need something that can help me.
you got the key now. Petroglyph number 3. And we're gonna go whackety whack whackety whack. Machete. I'm gonna use a strange key. We got petroglyph number 1. Speedrunning music. Do, 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 do. Speedrunning music.
I need something that can help me.
Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Whack, 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 whack. Whack, whack, whack. Okay. I'm trying to mentally prepare myself for this because you have no idea how insane this is going to be. I mean, I'm looking at the recording right now. It's 18 minutes in. So be prepared. You might see like a time skip, and I'll probably tell you what the final length of time was to count this out. I'm pretty sure I can probably do it. You basically want to get them to level out at a certain height, but in order to do that, you kind of need to get down. So this first one, with the arrow pointing down, this first ladder is all the way down. So we're going to pull this ladder up and push the button once, and it rows the ladder all the way to the top, which is good. We come to this first level, and we hit you. You'll notice that it closes on this first ladder, and it will open it on the second ladder. So if I tell it to go down, because it's already up all the way, as you can hear by that sound, the second ladder that we're working on is locked in place. Let's push it once, and it drops. And I'm going to push this lever down, let's pop it. And I'm going to come here, and we're going to push it once. And we're going to push E. And then we come back down. Okay. And it's locked. Okay. We're going to hit E. We're going to go back over to the first one, push U. So now that's up all the way. We're going to push back up. And we're gonna push it down. I hope this isn't messed up already. I feel like I already messed up. I already messed up, huh? So it's trying to see, I'm gonna just reset this whole thing. So we're gonna hit E. Let's pull this thing up all the way. I think it has something to do with balancing everything out. It's down. Okay, let's do this thing. Those looking down fairly interesting. Okay. I flip this back so it's connected to the first ladder. And if I tell it to go up, did nothing. Let's see how this is the most complicated thing ever. Finally! Okay, so it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. But basically, that's how you do it. You want to get this second ladder that you come down on the right side of the screen, the one that's connected to the bridge. You want to get that down to this first. Let me see if I can get my mouse. No mouse? Okay. You want to get it to the second ring, and then you want to change the lever to pull this all the way up. Then you flick the lever again to pull this longer ladder up slowly, and doing so as you're pulling it up gives you enough slack to lower the second ladder to the spot it needs to be. And that's 23 minutes. So, not bad. I'm okay with
I need something more to fix this footbridge.
that. I forgot something. Oops. Okay, here's a good thing though. At least I don't have to fix it. This is gonna stay. But what do you think I forgot? Comment in the comment spots below and see what I forgot. Take a good guess. I'll be a little meaner, and I'm gonna come over here to show that it's not over here. So what do you think I'm missing? Well, I need something to fix this gap. We got a machete. We got the petrified key. I'm an idiot. I forgot the flat. Let's get the multi-tool. And there's the bird still tripping away. And just again to prove there's nothing different. Now that we got the key. Go back upstairs. I feel like this is a little bit more relaxed episode, and I kind of like that. Let me go down the ladder real quick. Man, it feels so good being able to go down this ladder and not have to worry about that evil puzzle. I must have took a phase there. Okay. Okay, now we're gonna use tools. Alright. Now, this is where I messed up.
I need something that can help me.
We're going to use the petrifier.
Now I have all the blocks for the door.
So that part of the mission is complete, which is good. And we got the final petrifier. However, those that have been playing some of these old school pixel games would notice something very strange about where I'm standing. And it's totally easily missable if you just run, grab this, and then start running back this way. But if you actually look right here on the floor, it's the last letter needed to complete the side quest, which is letter 3. Letter 3, the dream. January 8th. He was no sooner stranded upon the earth, but he moved forward towards me with a long spear or weapon in his hand to kill me. And when he came to a rising ground at some distance, he spoke to me, or I heard a voice so terrible that it's impossible to express the terror of it. I thought I can say I understand was this. Seeing all these things have not brought me thee to repentance. Now thou shalt die. At which words I thought he lifted up his spear that was in his hand to kill me. No one that shall ever read this account will expect that I should not be able to describe the horrors of my soul at this terrible vision. I mean, that even while I was a dream, I even dreamed of those horrors. Nor is it any more possible to describe the impression that remained upon my mind when I awaked and found it was but a dream. So we got all 3 letters, and then I'm going to hit escape real quick, just to prove. Current story mission, open the hill door, shelter, aftermath part 1, saving the Nautilus are complete. Side mission, castaway, find the other 2 letters is complete. And I feel really good about that, because I really wanted to make sure I completed this game for everybody. For bios, we have the IMAG, the Nation card, and the Valkyrie card. We still have some stuff to unlock. And under the Verne log, we have 5 weeks to bloom, and the 3 letters. So far so good. Still got a long list to go. Interesting, though, the snakes. I'm telling you, that bird just be watching Becky really too bad, man. Like, jeez. That's all I think of whenever I hear that bird squeak. Now, there is something I do want to test, and it's going to sound kind of weird, but there's a portion later on that I remember from the demo. I don't remember ever staying to see what it was going to do, because I felt like it was going to kill me. But I'm going to give it a shot, because I actually want to see what actually happens. So be prepared for me to die, because I'm going to kind of do it intentionally. Now, this is really easy. To open the door, set the cycle in order. So basically we're matching shapes. So we're going to do this, and this swap. That'll look like this.
Somebody wants me inside. What if it's a trap? Should I take the chance? However, I could probably find inside an explanation for what's going on. And of course, it's a much more solid shelter than a wood cabin.
It's a trap. That's what I think of. Yeah. What would your thoughts be going down a really creepy ladder like this? In a creepy dark cave, in a creepy dark island, with a creepy mask face looking at you?
Holy Antikythera mechanism! What's this place?
Batman?
This hasn't been built by some castaway.
Since when did my man become Robin? Ooh, interesting. Ooh, what's over here?
Runes? Something enigmatic they hold. This gallery could lead into the center of the earth.
Ooh, I don't think I found this. Center of the Earth, Passion for Geology. Journey to the Center of the Earth was published in 1864. and immediately became a success. Professor Lindenbrock and his nephew Axel discover a manuscript in which a 16th century alchemist describes a journey to the center of the earth, starting at the crater of the Icelandic volcano at Snæfellsjökull. Following his directions and a trail of runes engraved into the stone, they travel through a fantastic subterranean kingdom, in which, among other amazing discoveries, they're discovering an inland sea the size of Europe, a battle between Jurassic creatures, and even encounter a primitive hominids. Verne's exciting book was a product of a combination of his rich imagination and his knowledge of the latest geological discoveries of his time. As its pages reflect the work of renowned scientists of the time, such as Alice de Aubigny, a paleontologist and the president of the Geological Society of France, and Charles Claire de Ville, a volcanologist and founding member of the French Meteorological Society. However, some theories that were considered valid at the time have now been refuted. The most obvious example is the theory that, after an eruption, volcanic conduits remained hollow, and that, for this reason, a worldwide network of interconnected subterranean caverns was possible. Modern science has shown that these conduits are too small and clogged with solid rock, making them, unfortunately, impassable to humans. It's true. Well, I'm glad I walked this way. I would have never discovered that. You can't run when you're crouched, so... Back to the cavern, Robin.
I'm trapped. I hope there's another way out.
More creepy wall.
Mon Dieu! What's going on this island? Wait a moment. There's a note here. What mystery is this? All the books have my name on them, but they're all blank. No titles.
From the Earth to the Moon. Oh, I remember this. This is the second shelf. We're going to do Around the World in 80 Days with the Globe. Green Ray is this green book. And the Golden Volcano is literally the Golden Volcano.
Yes! The Life and Incredible Adventures of Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe.
William Defoe?
Wait a moment.
I've always thought
I remember that. I've read this book a dozen times. My God, the letters, the cabin. These are elements of that same story. Am I hallucinating?
Robinson Crusoe. Robinson Crusoe, a great inspiration. Robinson Crusoe, written by Daniel Defoe, was published on April 25th, 1719, and is considered the first English novel. Defoe wrote Robinson Crusoe in approximately 6 months, when he was over 50 years old, and it was a phenomenon, becoming one of the books with the most editions, translations, and knockoffs in history. Robinson Crusoe was passed off as a chronicle of real events. The stories of shipwrecked sailors were very popular at the time, and there were several names that could have served as an inspiration for Defoe, among which stands out that of the buccaneer Alexander Shirkup, who, in 1704, preferred to stay on the uninhabited island of Massa Terrena in the South Pacific, rather than continue on board the Cynic ports, which he considered too damaged to continue sailing. After 4 years and 4 months in solitude, he was rescued, safe and sound, by the Duke, another privateer ship. Upon his return to London, his story of survival made him a celebrity. In 1966, the island was renamed Robinson Crusoe's Island. Jules Verne was a great admirer of Defoe's Robinson, something that is evident in many of his works, such as The Mysterious Island of 1874. Although, in this case, which leads the protagonist to the island of the title, is not a shipwreck at sea, but the fall of a hot air balloon. In 1882, he published A School for Robinsons, in which he shipwrecked his characters on another island where they had to survive all kinds of dangers and threats, such as inclement weather, tribes of cannibals, and even wild animals, with only hope of an aborigine of their own hands. By the way, the full title of the work was The Life and Strange Surprising Adventures of Robinson Crusoe of York Mariner, who lived 28 years all alone in an uninhabited island off the coast of America near the mouth of the great river of Onawoke, having been cast on shore by shipwreck, wherein all the men perished but himself, with an account How he was lost and strangely delivered by pirates, written by himself. Dear God, that is a mouthful. I think that's why we all just call it Robinson Crusoe these days, because that is literally the title of this book. But I guess people had a lot more time back then, so it makes sense.
It's ancient Greek. The gift of Placeia will help you to change pieces of the world. Only if your imagination is as brilliant as her flame.
That still scares me. I don't care how many times, because it's super loud in the headphones.
Oh, what's this? It must be hundreds of years old. What?
And there he is.
Good heavens! But what in the name of...
Hey, bro.
But here again?
Ooh, there's your face.
What's going on? Did this artifact do it? What is this?
Find a route. Nothing else. I'm gonna test something out, because I remember, see, whenever it does the save thing, there's always telling me something's happening, so I'm just taking my time with this real quick.
Wait a moment. The inscription. The gift of Placeia will help you to change pieces of the world. But maybe I could fix that with this devilish artifact.
Okay, let's see. Does anything see, because I know once I do this thing with the platform, you hear a lot of screaming from the demo, is what I remember. But I didn't actually stay behind to see what actually happened, so I'm gonna do something kind of stupid. Go back in time, very strong. Go back in time, this is very strong.
Fortunately, stones resisted and kept withstanding.
I'm not stupid. I'm gonna fake. My mag is charged. I know it happened. Watch, it's gonna happen right as I jump up. Does nothing happen? Nothing happens? Seriously?
Fortunately, stones resisted and kept withstanding.
I'm intentionally trying to see if anything's gonna happen.
Fortunately, stones resisted and kept withstanding.
I'll be honest, I'm kind of disappointed. I really wanted something to come out to me. I guess it's just the sound. Disappointing. Well, that changes the mood, I guess, because I thought something was seriously chasing after you. But I guess it is what it is.
This is a nightmare! I must run away from this island. Maybe I could fix the boat with this devilish artifact. I'd rather face the dangers at sea than stay trapped in this madness.
Oh, since we got everything complete, based on what we have here, I feel confident to announce and do my speed running, running fast as I can off the island, speed running.
What the hell is going on?
Spooky's cloud, scary crowd, running as quick as I can. Holding the shift button down and hoping sticky keys doesn't get turned on. Running, running, running as fast as I can. Running, trying not to trigger sticky keys. Let's do salvation, baby. Oh no. Okay. D S A W S D S A. Complete. Skeleton cloud.
Hours later, while I was drifting away, my head still boiled with questions. I could never imagine that my salvation would come in the form of the monster that destroyed my own ship. Scared to death, I discovered a new truth. It was a monster, yes, but made of steel. I could never imagine that my salvation would come in the form of the monster that destroyed my own ship.
What a tale! If I hadn't seen the IMAG working with my own eyes, I would truly believe that you, as we doctors say, were as mad as a March hare.
Does something of this make any sense to you?
Not at all, but it's not me who has to find it. However, it's obvious that everything, your hallucinations, your amnesia, the books, even the island, draws lines that link your mind with the IMAG.
Any clue of how we can fix that?
Have you considered that your status inside the Nautilus could be the reason for your, let's say, disconnection? It must be hard for you to live together with the ones responsible for the attack that sank your ship.
Months ago, I would have told you yes, and that I hated them for it. But I understood that war is war, and I must recognize, much to my regret, that the Captain has opened for me the doors of an incredible world that without the Nautilus and his technology, I could never dream of reaching. Am I a prisoner? Well, there are much worse prisons out there.
We're all trapped inside the Nautilus one way or another, my friend. A similar dilemma afflicts myself since I began to be part of this crew. I consecrated my career to save lives, and now I'm a piece of a ruthless war machine. On the other hand, my cholera research is only possible thanks to Nemo's technology.
He's an extraordinary man, but fearful. His current condition is unsettling.
History will judge him as it will do with us, and whoever writes it will park us in the place he believes we deserve. Now, go to your quarters and get some sleep. Doctor's orders.
Alright everybody, thanks so much for joining us on this episode of Verne, the Shape of Fantasy. This is where we're going to pause for now. We'll come back and continue on the adventure at a later date. I hope you enjoyed your dinner and had an opportunity to just rest and relax after a long day, whether at school or at work. Thanks for hanging out with us, and like always, don't stay up after 3, and we'll see you on the next adventure. Bye-bye!